Hey everybody, we're here on the Ludwig stand the day before the show opens. So we're here with Uli and he's going to talk us around the stand.
Hey drummers, how's it going? Uli Salazar, Manager of Marketing and Artist Relations for Ludwig Drums. And I'm here to give you a preview of what's new for 2020. Starting off, we're going to take a look at Classic Oak back here in two exciting new finishes that we put out. This is Smoke and this is Tennessee Whiskey. Classic Oak builds off of our proprietary crossover shell design of oak and maple. And now you have a full range of customizable options now through our Ludwig Outfitter. You can choose different depths, diameters, lug options, bracket options, and things like that to really personalize the kit. Very great professional kit to consider. It's very loud, it's very focused. A lot of people characterize this particular shell design to have very pre-EQ'd qualities to it. They're very easy to work with, easy to tune, very user-friendly. Engineers love them. So definitely give them a check if you see them at your local shop. These are the two new finishes, but you also can choose any of our classic wraps in Classic Oak as well. So let's move along to what's new for NeuSonic drums. NeuSonic is one of our newest USA-made drum series. This is another crossover shell design that is a 3-ply maple exterior with a 3-ply cherry interior. This is our new finish, which is a special edition for 2020. It's called Digital Black Oyster. It's playing off of, obviously, the classic color scale of Black Oyster, but giving it a different profile to it, something a little bit more contemporary or with classic undertones. This special edition outfit is offered in our Fab configuration, which is the classic Ludwig setup, really. It's a 14x22 bass drum, 9x13 tom-tom, and a 16x16 floor tom. Yeah, be sure to check these out. They're only going to be around for 2020, so get on it if this is attractive to you. All right, over the last few years, we've been really excited to introduce some really awesome solid paint colors. We are offering two new solid paint colors this year. This is Diablo Red behind me, kind of tricked out in a classic maple build. This is our very well-regarded classic maple shell, which is a 7-ply maple shell. But one of the unique things about this particular makeup and what's new with classic maple in the Outfitter is that you can choose your bearing edge type. You can choose one of three different bearing edges. The bearing edges on traditionally on the classic maple is a single 45, but what we built on this outfit is actually a full round over to put a little bit more emphasis on the body and on the low end. And it's also tricked out in our twin lug configuration, which was a very traditional look in Club Date series drums of yesteryear. This is a 14x20 bass drum, 8x12 rack, 14x14 floor, and a 16x16 floor tom back there in the Diablo Red finish with our traditional twin lugs. But very full, round, and yet punchy and aggressive tones out of this kit. The snare drum here is a 4x14 piccolo, also with full round over bearing edges. And then we have here a 6x13 auxiliary snare here off to the left. Let's take a look at the other solid paint finish that we have. All right, taking a look at our other solid paint finish here, this is Vintage Bronze Mist. And this is actually a take on an old finish we used to do for a short time in the early 60s called Bronze Mist. That was really only offered on Club Date series drums of that era. So we played around with the formula to give it a little bit of an aged look. Also kept some of the original aesthetic, preserved some of the original aesthetic with this gold sparkle inlay, which was featured on the old Bronze Mist kits. This is also a classic maple build with one of the 3 bearing edge types that we offer. It's actually double 45 on this one. So you have a bit more non-standard sizes, but this is kind of what we offer and what you have accessibility to now, access to now through the Outfitter. This is a 12x20 bass drum, so shallower than your standard 14-inch. 8x12 standard size, really. But over here on the floor tom, we have a 13x14, 13 depth, 14 diameter. And we have a 14x15, 14 depth, 15 diameter, that is, with a matching 5x14 snare drum. Again, all of those with double 45-degree bearing edges. Also, through the Outfitter, you can customize concert toms as well. This is a classic maple concert tom, 10-inch, to match the rest of the kit. So yeah, I mean, this is a very unique setup, something that we see having a lot of different applications in the professional world. And we definitely want to offer that versatility and that flexibility through our outfitter for today's customer. So 2020 is a very big year for new finishes, as if you couldn't tell already. Another new finish that we're bringing into the market is the Sahara Swirl, which has a lot of classic aesthetic, classic theme to it. Very reminiscent of the Black Oyster Pearl, with sort of a reverse kind of look to it, where the black is sort of more recessed behind the pattern, and the grays and things are more brought out to the forefront there of the pattern. But yeah, very super awesome classic Ludwig look that looks like it's something that has been around forever. Upgrade to the bass drum claws as well, from stamp to cast claws, a very nice feature there. This is the perfect kit for the Metropolitan Professional. Lightweight, compact, but very operational for today's gigging drummer. All right, in snare drum land, this is everyone's favorite spot. This is my favorite spot, right? There is no bad sounding Ludwig snare drum, and every year we really try to introduce something different and really try to push the envelope with what we're doing. Here we have our new standard model Black Beauty, which is an 8-lug configuration. It's now offered in 5x14 and 6.5x14. Last year, many of you saw that we had an anniversary model, which was kind of our intro back into an 8-lug brass model. That one was decked out with traditional hardware fittings, gold tube lugs, single flange hoops, and things like that. So through kind of pursuing that, we already started to use that as a springboard for our new standard Black Beauty model as an 8-lug, which is really cool. Really excited about this. They sound amazing. With the 8-lug configuration, you bring out a little bit more of the drum, a little bit more body as well. You get a rounder tone out of it. It's not so much of a sharp attack, which is good. So the attack kind of sits under that body and that low end. A very beautiful drum. You get a lot of body and depth out of a 5. So those of you that think a 6.5 is maybe a little too much snare drum for you, but you still want some more body, definitely consider an 8-lug 5x14 Black Beauty. You won't be disappointed with that. Also new and special edition for this year is our copper pewter plated shell. This is our standard copperphonic seamless shell made here in the USA, and it's got a very unique plating on the outside, which is a copper, very enhancing the aesthetic and the look of what we traditionally do with plating, black nickel plating, chrome plating, and things like that. So this is something a little bit different, but very much Ludwig at the end of the day. As, once you dress it up and it's got that bead, that classic bead, those classic imperial lugs, it's got that fresh Ludwig look. This is also available in 5x14 model, 6.5x14. And really, this doesn't sound too far off of today's normal copperphonic. It's definitely, the plating augments the presence a little bit more, so it's a little bit brighter, a little bit more resonant, but not overwhelming. And copper, obviously, naturally, the timbre of that alloy is very controlled, very dark. So it's a very, very cool drum. If you like the properties and the control and the darkness of a wood drum, but really like the presence of a metal alloy, the copper realm is kind of what you want to look at for that. So if you see these around in any of the local shops, definitely give them a hit or two. You'll be very surprised what these drums can do. Last year, we introduced the reissue of the Ludwig Jazz Festival, and we kind of modeled it all after a very, very famous drum from a very, very famous drummer from the UK. And this year we decided to expand the color palette for the Jazz Festival model. Last year we introduced it as the traditional oyster colors and traditional 60s colors, which is vintage black oyster, vintage blue, mild orange, and black galaxy. This year we kind of opened it up to, the other half of that catalog at that time, which is blue sparkle, sky blue pearl, white marine pearl, and silver sparkle. Again, this has the same 64 Jazz Fest build out that we put together for last year's release. You got the 3-step tone control, baseball bat muffler, the white Rezo Code interiors, 64 bed, snare bed profile from that era of 1964, positioning of the throw off and the bat, baseball bat muffler, and all the right panels and things like that. The depth is a 5.5 inch deep, 14 diameter. Really great drum, tight and snappy, but still with a lot of body and a lot of presence for a wood drum, which is really cool and unique. Now, a big deal here. Big deal for a pedal that invented the bass drum pedal, right? Ludwig was founded in 1909 by brothers William F. Ludwig and Theobald Ludwig, and they came to the market with a very unique concept, being the bass drum pedal. And over the years, over the decades, we definitely pushed the envelope on that design. and add a lot more features to make it a lot more usable for players of really every decade of the evolution of music. But one pedal that always remained a staple for drummers was the Speed King. The Speed King was introduced in about 1947, and this pedal really revolutionized the game. It was a pedal that really offered players the ability to attack the drum with a little bit more power but less effort, right? And so with the Speed King here, we sort of focused in on the era of the late 50s and 60s, that look, that pedal plate profile and things like that, and try to bring that back. It hasn't been since like the late 70s since we've had the polished silver version of the Speed King out in the market. And so we reissued this and and preserved a lot of the traditional looks and aesthetic of the pedal, but we put some more contemporary features on this to really enhance the operation of the pedal and the feel of the pedal and the performance of the pedal. We got a sealed bearings now here over at the hinge that connects the heel plate and the footboard, making it super smooth. The old Speed Kings had about a 1-stroke, 1.5-stroke flow. These have a 3-stroke flow, whole different ball game. The traditional speed beater, which we still make in Monroe, North Carolina. We've also added a key clip under here in our new design drum key. Very nice ergonomic design here. Still the original twin spring design that you can adjust from underneath the towers there. We did put some rubber padding here to help protect against bass drum rash and things like that. We also, on the underside here of the toe clamp, we filled that in with some casting material there, also to minimize a lot of the marring and the tearing of the bass drum. So it seats onto the hoop a lot sturdier, which is really good, and the flow is just super great. It comes packaged in this very retro theme and inspired kind of box and packaging. You got the part number and description there, nice artwork, title artwork there. Kind of a 1D top view of the pedal there. So to merchandise a pedal like this at your store, or even just to have this in your drum room, carrying your parts and things like that as additional storage is kind of cool. It's just a very vibey box. It comes packaged in this super cool drawstring accessories bag. And this pedal does collapse all the way flat, and you can just tuck it into that pedal, throw it in the box. Super lightweight, compact. But again, very, very powerful for a Speed King, which is awesome. Also, squeak not included. Taking a look at another pedal that we are introducing here this year at Namm is the Speed Flyer. We're excited to be being able to come to the market with 2 new pedals and really focusing on the concept of speed, which was something that was a very big important theme for us in developing a lot of our hardware. And with the Speed Flyer, we definitely, there's no exception there. Sealed bearings now on our hinge connector here, giving it a really smooth, about 13 stroke or more, excuse me, oscillation. A new weighted beater that's really based off of the Speed King beater, same kind of thickness in the felt head itself. Weighted slightly heavier to sort of help with the natural flow of the pedal and the spring tension in the bearing. Improved heel cleats on the backside here with lock washers on the inside to prevent slippage. Ribbed baseboard here with a center rib for stability. The new wing nut, wing bolt based off of the drum key wing head that we saw a bit earlier there, and this one also has a new key there. Very comfortable, very easy to dial in and turn, tighten and loosen. We also got a awesome new finish on these towers and around the sides and insides of the board. This is our new textured battleship gray finish on this pedal. Super awesome look. The olive green Ludwig script logo here, and we also have olive green keystone right there. You'll notice here on the cam we have some indicator marks to help you mark the adjustment and the positioning of the angle of the footboard itself. This cam has our new anti-slip technology in it, where it actually locks into the grooves of the drive shaft itself so it doesn't slip no matter how heavy your foot is. You just tighten that up a decent amount and it'll be really secure for playing. We also have indication marks here to adjust the beater angle. You got your home base mark here on the post of the drive shaft that sticks out there. You got a little dot, and then you have your 3 markings to really give you a guide and remember where you set up your pedal. A lot of people that are touring, they have backup pedals, and they really want their backup pedal to be set up identical as their main. They don't want things to feel different in case something happens to their main pedal, they lose it, or whatever the case may be. You have a lot of these markings here to help you set up some of your pedals identical to one another. That's really helpful for people on the road. So paying attention to a lot of the pro demand and what's desired by today's professional players. Upgrade to the toe clamp design as well. We got the rubber grip hoop saver on the other side. These all come with hoop saver patches as well. And then our toe clamp is very unique in that it adjusts to, you could flip it to adjust to the different contours of the bass drum, whether you're playing a 20, 22, 24, 26, what have you. So you'll have one that caters more to smaller radius or diameter bass drums, and others to cater to larger diameter bass drums. Both of these pedals, you'll probably see these in shops come April. So keep your eyes peeled. Much more to come in the way of these two here, and please be sure to demo them. It's such a smooth playing pedal. I was very glad to spend some time with both of these and comparing them even to older models like the Speed King, the original, really understanding that evolution and how different they are. It's a really special thing. It's a very special playing, and it makes the experience very positive and a good one. So check them out. Our last stop here, the Ludwig booth, and what's new for 2020. We're looking at Element Evolution. This is our intermediate model. Perfect for student drummers. It's perfect for a utility kit for today's gigging drummer. It's a 5-piece shell pack in different bass drum sizes. You have the 20-inch outfit here in our new gold sparkle finish, and then you also have the 22-inch configuration, which is 22, 10, 12, 16, in our new emerald green sparkle finish. This comes with our Evolution Series hardware pack, which comes with 2 convertible boom stands. You can use them as straights or as booms. The single pedal over here, the double brace hi-hat stand, which is a swivel leg, hi-hat stand, snare drum stand, and a throne. Yeah, this is a really great package. They come outfitted with Remo UT pinstripe heads. So you get a nice full punchy sound out of these guys. Very balanced between low end and punch. But again, if you're in the market for a utility type kit, or you're looking to upgrade from your beginner kit, definitely consider getting behind an Element Evolution and seeing what it has to offer. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out what's new with Ludwig 2020.
So I just thought I would have a little look around unaccompanied and have a closer look at some of the stuff that we've just been shown. So one of my favourite things I saw was this. There seems to be a bit of a resurgence of some vintage stuff here, like with the Speed King pedal, which we'll have a look at in a second, and then this Jazz Fest snare drum. I just wanted to check out this throw off for myself. Feels really cool. I just love that kind of vintage vibe going on, and you'll see in the close up that sparkle just looks absolutely killer. That is very smooth. Let's go and check out those pedals. Again, on the vintage vibe then, the Speed King seems to be back. So, as you can see, this looks absolutely awesome, and no squeaking in sight, which is cool. I thought I'd have a little go at seeing if I can collapse it. So let's just try that. There it goes. It's not going well so far. Oh, there we go. Something's happened. Yeah, that's maybe not. Ah, there we go. Awesome. And then the beater comes out. Let's go the whole hog. Sweet. Look at that. Loving life. I just think that's a really nice touch with the old packaging. Just having a little go on it. It is ridiculously smooth. Feels really good. Perfect for kind of Obviously, for you guys that are into your old school stuff, maybe I wouldn't mind one of those on my jazz kit, to be honest. Seems to be a big year for finishes then for Ludwig. I particularly like that digital oyster, it looks really cool. I'm going to get out of here before I get run over by a forklift. So, see you soon.